Välkommen allesammans! Today we're speaking about Loki, the new Marvel Universe show that just premieres today actually on Disney+. And I'm going to just teach you a little bit about the basic understanding of what Loki represents in our native Scandinavian religion, and hopefully it can just prevent the spread of some misinformation from the mainstream media, and if it does that, I will be happy. You know, I shouldn't have to say this, but in the Norse belief system, today we do not believe in a superhuman-like demigod named Loki that changes into a horse and then gets plowed by a giant horse and gives birth to an eight-legged horse. We don't believe that today, and we didn't believe that in ancient times either. All of our gods and deities are representative of certain things in nature. These were called kennings or heithi in the Old Norse language. Does that mean we're atheists? No, absolutely not. These gods represented certain divine forms of spiritual energy in the universe that we don't quite understand. Loki, for example, he represents the forces in nature that instigate change. We don't really have a modern understanding of this word in English or any other language for that matter, probably, that describes Loki, but catalyst is, you know, kind of the word that most modern historians have put on it as an equivalent. One of our most ancient sources, the Prose Edda, even tells this too, how Loki was the mover of stories. Loki is the cause of almost every significant event in our mythology, just like Loki is the instigating force behind all things in nature and the universe. For example, let's look at some of the children that Loki gave birth to. First, we have Hel, the goddess of death. Hel simply represents death, and she represents where we go when we die. We don't believe in a cold, gloomy, misty, miserable place where we go for all of eternity to suffer for our sins. That realm is not being ruled over by an evil woman named Hel. Hell just means the place where we all go after we die, in the ground or cremated or whatever. It's the place where we all go while we wait to be reincarnated. Yes, the Vikings believed in reincarnation. The whole world believed in reincarnation if we go back far enough, but yeah, Hell was just a waiting place, and you can call it the spirit world or realm of the dead, whatever you want. Another child of Loki is Jormungandr, the Midgard Serpent. We believe, in a big snake curling around the world, guarding everybody? No. There are a couple, theories about Jormungandr. The most accepted one is that this represents the borders in between our dimensions and others. In the Norse belief system, we believed in 9 dimensions, which kind of agrees with the modern science somewhat, string theory and things like that they're starting to discover. I did a video about that below with all the sources. But yeah, again, it's just symbolic for certain spiritual energies and things. Then we have Loki's third child, Sleipnir, the 8-legged horse. Is this a real 8-legged super horse? No. Sleipnir's names actually directly translated means slippery one or slider. Sleipnir is the force that allows your soul to travel in and out of your body during birth, death, when you're dreaming, certain shamanic rituals, things like that. The Siberian shamans actually believe in something similar to this Sleipnir. So as you can see, Loki has always to do with some sort of force or event that instigates change. I'll give you one more story because I think I'm probably already losing people's attention. The famous story about the beloved Norse god of light, Baldur. So in this story, Loki tricks his blind brother Hodir to shoot Baldur with some mistletoe, and it kills him. This myth is simply symbolic of the winter coming, the summer dying and the winter coming. The god of light, Baldur, represents the summer, not just the summer by itself, but the life in all living things that comes with the summertime and when the light is shining. Then Loki, who is the catalyst, comes around here and instigates the death of that light and all living things in nature. All plants, everything dies, except what? mistletoe, which comes out and is actually at its most vibrant in the winter. So if you're in the warmer parts of the world, I don't expect you to understand any of this. Even us today in Scandinavia, with our warm little jackets and blankets and heating today, we really don't understand how dangerous and how severe winter was. But in ancient times, winter meant death. There was no food. Our people starved. We were not guaranteed to survive the winter. And if the light didn't come back, if the summer did not come back to life, we would be in deep trouble. And this is what we call the Ice Age, or mini Ice Age, as we have seen in different times in history. Just slightly before the Viking Age was the last one. And we think that's actually what Ragnarök represents. It's not some apocalypse-like thing where the world ends, as there is in other religions. Ragnarök just represents the end of something and a new start. But that's a long, complicated subject, and there are some different theories on that. But have no fear, because in the myths, the god Hermodr, disguised as Odin, travels to Hel, this goddess, and she strikes up a bargain, and she says that Baldur can come back to life if everything in the world weeps. Baldur comes back to life then, aka when snow melts and all things in nature shed a tear, just like you see here. So I could go on for an hour about Loki. These are just a few of the myths to kind of help people understand our true beliefs, and so we can stop the mainstream media just shitting all over native European culture like they have been doing for the past 1,000 years. So if you are interested, you can check out the channel. I'll leave some links below. As you'll see, I usually make my videos a lot longer to really get deep into the sources and make these kind of thought processes complete. But this video I just made a little bit quicker so as not to lose the attention of the mainstream people. But hope you enjoyed this little quick one. Vi ses nästa gång.